everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Spot Real Talk with our Quarantine Chronicles. My name is Tiara, and tonight I'm sipping on my mimosa. It's not quite as light skinned as Issa and Molly's, but got a little mimosa action.
And I'm Ron. I got my amaretto. What can I say?
Okay.
It's a staple. It'll keep me up to edit this stuff.
I'm LaWanda. I'm got some water as usual.
Okay, cool.
Hide my label. They're not paying
I got
us.
cherry moscato.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys hang tight, we'll be right back with you with another discussion of Insecure.
One burnt you, know that ain't cool. Wanna show you how I'm nothing like him. Swear that's the truth. So you can't trust that.
All right, we are back, and like I said, we are talking about Insecure. This is episode 9, titled Lowkey Trying. It was directed by Kerry Washington. So yeah, I really did enjoy this episode, and I thought that we were going to get a little bit further with Molly and Issa, but not looking like things are gonna get resolved.
Look, if our military had about 200 Mollies, we'd win everything. We wouldn't have to worry about a thing. We can go in.
That chick does not back down.
Yeah, Molly's tripping.
And not helping.
Huh?
And therapy doesn't seem to be helping.
No,
at all.
She thinks everybody else is wrong but her. And you know, I was with Issa when Issa was like, "Oh, okay." I mean,
right.
Well,
what else can you do?
I was a little disappointed with Issa because she took back her same old role. You know, hey, I'm going to reach out.
I was too.
And you know, and it just.
But she was being a bigger person.
Yeah,
and
but
it was
look
out of her desperation too, a little bit, because she wanted that advice. And you know, Molly is usually her go-to. And when you don't have your go-to girl there, it's kind of like she gave into that moment of weakness. Like, dang, I really need to talk to somebody.
And it was thrown right back in her face. And you know, and that's the whole part. I mean, you got to know who your enemies are. You got to know who your friends are. You got to know how to treat them. You got to understand sometimes you got to let it. You know, someone like Molly, you just have to let her come to you, because even when she was talking to Andrew, you know, again. He was like, hey, you know, did you try to reach out to her? Did you try to go halfway, whatever? Nope.
Shoot,
she her therapist.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say her therapist kind of said the same thing. Like, you have to acknowledge your wrongs and you have to be able to put in the work. Like, are you really willing to do the work to repair the relationship?
And she's not.
Clearly.
With anybody, because she didn't even want to go to the event with Andrew and his brother.
Right.
So going back to what LaWanda said, you know, we discussed this a couple of episodes ago, like that's going to be an issue. Like you don't even want to be in the same room or be involved with your man's family. Like that's going to be an issue.
It really is.
If you can read faces, go ahead. Other one.
No, go ahead, Ron.
If you can read faces, Andrew's getting a little bit wary of this. And even you can tell by, you know, like, hey, you're not going to ever try to, you know, to make up with my brother, you know, what's going on? And I'm thinking that it's wearing him down bit by bit. We'll soon see.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in the season finale. You talking about she don't want to talk to Issa now. If Andrew, but I bet she'll have time for Issa.
Right.
He had that look on his face like, oh, that's how it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to make up with my brother when he extended an olive branch.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's important to your man.
Yeah. His
like,
family.
come on.
Like, where is this going if you're going to already start the relationship off having beef with my family? You're going to make things awkward and uncomfortable. So, you know what I mean? He has to be thinking about that. So we're going to spend the rest of our time with you not going to meet my family or us doing things separately. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
And Andrew has already shown like so much patience toward her. Mm-hmm. It's like, how much more can you ask of this man? He really like supported her through a lot of her nonsense, and even where she was clearly wrong. Mm-hmm. So I think her time is she really skating on thin ice with him.
Yep.
She's a hot box, and you know it's all about Molly, and that's just the way it is. If I'm not pleased, nobody's pleased. because it's, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't, you know, as far as Molly is concerned, it's everybody else's fault. And
Yeah,
she's, you know, she's tired of everyone else making mistakes, just like her you know, psychologist was saying, you know, people make mistakes, and are you just gonna fly off every time somebody does something that you don't like? Well, apparently so.
And it's sad too. Did you have something to add, LaWanda?
I was just thinking it's a defense mechanism too, because it seems like Molly has this bar where she doesn't want to get hurt or be disappointed. And I think that's more it, that she doesn't want to be disappointed. So the first time somebody shows her something, she cuts it off.
Yeah. And I was gonna say it's really sad too, because Issa really did try to put in the effort, like to invite her to the brunch at least. And although they didn't talk about any of the major issues, they kind of like laughed and kikied about things.
Yeah, it looked like
Issa really put the effort forward. She ordered food, she paid for it, which is a big step up for Issa.
Right.
And so it was just like, dang, I thought it was really unfortunate that Issa really did try to extend the olive branch, and Molly really wasn't down to hear. If it wasn't an apology, she was not trying to hear it.
Right.
And we seen it again at the end of the episode when Issa and Nathan showed up to like move out the rest of his stuff, and they were kind of chatting over wine, playing their game or whatever. It was like when she sent the text accidentally to Issa. I just felt so bad because I was like, she really thought they were gonna make up. She had already told Lawrence, like, yeah, we almost back to normal. A few more, you know, outings, and we'll be back to self-care Sundays again.
Well,
wow.
And so she really had hope for the situation.
Well, hope springs eternal, and if you keep on hoping, that's all you're gonna wind up with is hope. Well, at least in this circumstance, I can't speak for everything, but as far as Molly and Issa are concerned, I think that rivet has been driven about as far as it can go.
Yeah, and I don't think Andrew would have been pleased to receive that text. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she's another nail in the coffin with that one.
I agree.
Right.
He probably would have looked at it, and again, he would have been soft Andrew. I want him to step up, though. I really want him to, you know, and the reason being is because she likes him. And I think that if he comes a little harder with his message about the two of them, Issa and Molly, I think she'll listen. She may, you know, fuss for a minute or two, but I think she likes him enough to at least hear what he has to say about it, because he's really not saying anything.
Yeah. Well, he did say something. He said, you know, he said, I know you miss her and things like that. I mean, he did try to encourage her.
But that's my point.
Meet her halfway.
Yeah, it's always this encouraging attitude that he takes with her, rather than going, look, you're just wrong.
I think you got to stop upside the head run. Is that what you said?
That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to say it, you know, but thanks.
You think he needs to demand?
That's what has to happen, because Molly's not hearing anything. She's not hearing it.
No.
Well, what's interesting to me was her comment at the end that she made to Issa, where she was like, I don't think that the people that we've become really serve each other anymore. And I'm like, well, how can you be like, I understand she thinks Issa is selfish or whatever, but that's something that she can address with her. But how does her leveling up in her career and in her personal life equate to her no longer being a person that you think serves you? Like,
very easy.
You're willing to laugh and keep her, but you don't want to get serious and address the issues that could lead to a repaired friendship.
She was
so
always
it's more about her than about Issa.
Molly was always used to.
I thought she was out, because I was like, what has Issa done for her to be like just so cutthroat? Like, oh, this is it. You know, right. I was like, Issa, like LaWanda said, microaggressions and things like that. And with friendships, there's going to be things that you like and dislike about each other, especially long-term relationships and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know that it warranted what she said to Issa. I was like, right. Wow.
Well, Molly, as far as Molly's concerned, Issa has always been the subordinate. And I think now that Issa's trying to, as you say, level up and, trying to be more independent and more for Issa, it doesn't work for Molly, because Molly needs a whipping board. And that's what Issa has been. So that's how I took it. this new growth between you and I isn't working anymore because you've become something that I'm honestly not willing to accept. So with your independence and your new growth, I'm not trying to be on the same level. You know, I need a whipping board, and that's what you've been to me so far.
Well, that's what Andrew has been too, clear, or
True.
at least his relatives. Like anybody, she'll find anybody.
Yeah.
And I think what's unfortunate too is that Issa has kind of like been telling Molly her business. Like I know when they were at the brunch, she was telling her about the Dine and Dash girls.
Mm-hmm.
But then she also talked about how she and Lawrence had got back together, and she talked about how she was helping Nathan move. And so, you know, Molly and her little hating attitude, she's probably going to think like, oh, you got back with Lawrence, but here you are over here with me having, you know, darn near a double date with me and Andrew. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Molly would definitely throw that back up in her face just to fight. And that's why it's like, you got to be careful who you tell your business to, because everybody that claims to be a friend isn't a friend. And we have seen that so many times out of Molly where she hits below the belt sometimes.
Right.
But speaking of Issa and Lawrence getting back together, they wasted no time. Ooh, and we were wondering last week if this was going to be a one-time thing, but clearly.
That couch was
well, I thought she was dreaming. The way it came on, I was like, is this for real? Are they dreaming? Is she dreaming? So I was happy to see them together.
Yeah.
They were breaking in that couch, though. I'm trying to tell you.
I was happy to hear about, you know, Condola, them ending too. I mean, even though I know some people say they like Condola, and Condola is a cool chick and everything, but I still think I like Issa and Lawrence together.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have gotten to know Condola a little more to see where she's really at, but hey, it's not in.
We probably still haven't seen the last of Condola.
I hope not.
Probably not. We'll probably see her next episode. But what I do like is that Issa was really trying to put her best foot forward this time around by being upfront and honest with Lawrence about, you know, where she stood with Nathan. And I was like, okay, that's a good start. Too. And it kind of helps him to rebuild the trust a little bit by her being forthcoming with the information instead of him having to find out about Nathan another way.
Well, and I'm also happy that Nathan, you know, man up and told her about his illness, you know, because that you know, bipolar is that's a very difficult illness to deal with on the opposite side. You know, you got to have some real patience and understanding to deal with someone that's bipolar. So I was glad to see that he kind of set that record straight with her, and he was straightforward.
Yeah, I do like in the wind down how they talked after the show about how you know, they wanted to show that representation in the show and how they were very meticulous and careful about how they presented it and how they portrayed him as a person with the bipolar disorder. And he was basically saying, you know, like, just because you have a mental illness, it doesn't define you. But, you know, growing up as a Black person in America, like, you got some sort of mental illness, you know, either way you put it.
That's true. That's
like whether it's PTSD or whatever, you know, we go through a lot of trauma here.
Speaking of trauma, the actor that plays Nathan, you know, he got shot with 7 with rubber bullets at one of the Black Lives Matter protests.
And those bullets, man, those rubber bullets, you know, you've heard the stories of one woman, I believe a nurse, her eye was removed, you know, from one of the bullets. And I mean, well, that's a whole nother issue that we can really do a whole show on.
Yeah, but I think the fact that Issa was reaching out to her friends for advice about Nathan tells me that she's not so sure if she wants to cut him off. And she's very hesitant to do so.
Now,
you can see in the previews for next week, it looked like there's definitely some unfinished business.
I know. I saw Lawrence putting his head down, and I was like, "Oh no, Issa, you gotta pass this test. You failed the first time. You gotta pass this test this time around."
Well, we called it. We said she would probably end up in the love triangle.
Okay, you know, I don't know. I'm the only guy on this, you know, on this set here, so I'm going to look at it from a guy's point of view. I know Nathan. You know, he's very interested in Issa. He's, you know, in fact, I think he wants more from Issa. I thought Issa was on par with Lawrence, that they were going to get back to live happily ever after. What is she doing, ladies? Y'all help me.
That's what I said.
Help me understand.
I was like, Nathan, I cannot help you move. Something has come up. I cannot help you.
Right.
I think she just feels guilty though, because he kind of helped her with her level up. He encouraged her to do the block party. He got her the artist that she needed to get the event perfect. And so it was like, I think she did it a little bit out of guilt, like, dang, he helped me, so I feel like I need to return the favor.
I got that.
But then she went over there, trying to make sure, she tried to emphasize the friendship. Like, my nigga, what's up? Like, bro, come on, bro. And I'm like, she's trying to make it obvious that, like, you're getting friend zoned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but let's see just what sort of friend zone she's really in, okay? And
I know, she's trying. Well, I got to give her credit for trying.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what to give her, because she's about to screw this whole thing up.
I think it's just what Tiara said. I think, Molly accused her of being a user. She's trying not to look like a user. Nathan came through in a big way with that block party. So she probably did feel obligated to help him.
Well, I mean, helping him move is fine. I didn't have a problem with that. My concern is, where are you going, Issa?
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's my concern.
I agree.
Lawrence forever, or are you tripping? Because see, you lose him this time, and you will have lost him forever.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fact. I don't think Lawrence will be willing to take her back for a third time.
No. And it's going to be over another dude too. No.
Right.
Ain't gonna happen.
And you noticed that Nathan was out there throwing shade too at Lawrence.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was acting like a typical hood, But I can understand it. He wants to throw a little mud at Lawrence, because he likes Issa. I got it, But my point is, Issa, what are you doing? You all ladies y'all gotta help me out through this, because I'm a little weary. I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, apparently Lawrence is. Did you have something to add, LaWanda?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's almost like the same question that Condola posed to Lawrence. If she had not cheated, would you still be together? So the question is, if Nathan hadn't ghosted her, would they still be together? Probably so.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I was
just easy for her to just cut him off like that. Now, especially now that she knows it was because of him being bipolar and not for any other reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I guess like she was saying in the wind down after the show, she thought it was like, typical millennial dating where, somebody just ghosts you for no reason and then tries to pop up like nothing ever happened. But it really was for a legitimate reason. And she was saying like how her self-care Sundays are kind of like superficial. But, Nathan's self-care, was actually him disappearing. Like he was actually taking care of himself on a real deep level. So you can't be mad at it.
No, you can't. And I can't be mad at her for not knowing what he was doing either. So, and that's my point, you got to move on. And you can't keep going back to these old ghosts. They will come back to haunt. And I'm sorry if you now my other thought was maybe because Lawrence isn't quite sure whether he's moving to San Fran. And maybe she wants to try to keep that line open with Nathan in case he actually takes that job. Maybe that's
true, Ron, because it seems like that second interview with Lawrence and his employer in San Francisco went really well.
Yes.
And so that still leaves things open. So you don't want to rekindle things with somebody just for them to up and leave or, something like that to happen. And then like the other thing with Nathan is like she knows him only on like a surface level. Like they haven't had to go through anything together. So she could have that grass is greener syndrome where, everything looks good until you get over there and, the grass ain't so green on the other side. But Lawrence is a safe bet. Like she knows him. She can see that he has obviously leveled up in his career and that his trajectory is taking off. So that's the safe bet.
It's possible. I
don't know.
And then it's not as easy as, if he asked me to go with him, I'll go, because she's just trying to establish herself.
Yeah, she was just talking with her assistant this episode about, doing another event they're just starting to get into the early planning stages of coming up with the next thing. So
listen,
it's tough.
San Fran is like a 6-hour drive from LA. Couple hour flight.
You said something about being a trolley girl, but I don't know, but too damn many hills for me. But hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I'm like, they can still, it's not like he's moving to the East Coast.
Right.
You know, LA, San Fran, they can still, you know, they can still make that work.
We're going to see the season finale next week. And there was still a lot of questions about, people bringing up Condola, and a lot of people are speculating that she might be pregnant or something like that, something crazy. So I think that, I don't know if Issa and Lawrence will stay together. I just feel like something is going to happen.
I think something's going to happen too. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be big. It's the season finale.
Yeah, if something's going to happen, I'm just like, yeah. Issa and Lawrence, Molly, and Andrew, I think they're going to be on the outs too.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right.
I don't know. San Francisco, LA, how many hours away are they?
Tiffany said maybe about 6-hour drive.
Yeah, it's by car. It's like 5 or 6 hours or something like that.
Yeah, when I was dating, I would call that a JUD, a GUD, a geographically undesirable date.
But it's not that far though. It's not that far because I have family that live in Northern Cali, and my little cousin, she models, so she goes back and forth to LA and from Northern California, so it can be done.
Oh, it can be.
You want, and we doing Zoom calls right now, so Issa and Lawrence they Zoom on.
Yeah.
And like I said last week, Issa went to the UK in a photograph.
Okay.
Well,
Team
I don't know.
Issa, I got my Team Issa shirt.
Yes, I love that shirt. It's so cute. I might have to order me one now.
Yeah.
It looks better on you than it would me, so you can keep it.
We'll have to see if they got a Team Lawrence one, because we know how you be going
There
hard.
They have a shirt that has Lawrence.
I'll buy that.
Has Molly, all of them on there. Yeah.
Well, I know Team Molly is probably still fully stocked because ain't nobody riding with Molly.
No, but shout out to Yvonne for her comedy special. It was funny.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch.
I thought she did a good job.
All right. Well, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I am seriously looking forward to next week's. I just want to know what the big blow up is going to be. It has to be something. Like I said, I'm predicting something major. Do you guys have anything you want to throw out there for predictions or last comments?
Last comments. I know we had talked offline about who gets the hands this week. I mean, I know some of our viewers that are new might not be familiar with our segment about who gets the hands this week and stuff. But for me, Drew Brees gets the hands for his comments about the flag and all of that. He gets the hands for me because
he tried, he tried to clean it up.
Apologize.
Yeah, but I had something I wanted to say about it, but I think I'm gonna hold because it.
Well, I hear you. I know we only got a few minutes left.
Yeah.
But good luck, Drew. I hope those brothers block for you.
Well,
and I'm giving the hands. I'm giving the hands to all the Karens out there that's really been showing themselves lately.
I give the hands to the system. It's about time.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
And the National Football League, they, the whole league itself can get the hands too.
Give Colin a job.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now there should be teams knocking his door down. And the sad part about it, he's not the same ball player as he was, prior to all this. And it's just going to take a lot of work and effort to get him
But
back.
he's been training every day. All he needs is a shot. There's some bums in NFL now.
There are quite a few that would take him.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
Anyway, LaWanda, you were getting ready to say something.
I'm saying we were giving hands to people in the show besides Molly. It would go to Amal. He's like no help at all.
No.
Facts.
None.
Yeah, no help.
Like,
And you know, one other thing they thought, who knew that Bernie Sanders was 6 feet tall?
Yeah, you know, I started to look that up myself. You know,
I thought he was short too. I was like,
he
man.
comes across as like 5'6", you know,
Right.
with heels on. I still may have to look that up.
That's funny.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. It's been so much fun tonight. Make sure you come down in the comment section and let us know how you felt about this episode. Give us your predictions for next week's season finale. Let us know who you think is going to end up with who and who might not end up with somebody by the end of the show. It's looking like maybe there might be a lot of breakups next week, but let us know how you felt and what you predict. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and also click the notification bell so that you get notified every time we post. We are also online on every social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Spot Real Talk. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channels there on all of our platforms.
And I want to welcome all our Insecure Facebook fans that have come to join us. You know, tell the rest of the group, you know, we're hot and ready, and we're willing the deal. So come on with it.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I think we're going to call it a night.
Good for me.
Me too. I think I'm going to rewatch the episode again.
I know, right?
Yeah, me too.
I got work to do, so I'm out.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I said, whoa, I'm on my own. We spoke on the phone, that's all she wrote. She said, leave me alone, so I'ma go. Spending all our time and we went for broke. But you could've made it last year, I won't put it past you. I said ride the wave, but you sank the ship so fast, yeah. You weren't on my side because that would make you mad, yeah. I ain't gotta lie, girl, I loved you more the past year. But thinking about it, 6 side trips down the